Best Sigmund Freud quotes of all time. Most people do not really want freedom, because freedom involves responsibility, and most people are frightened of responsibility. He that has eyes to see and ears to hear may convince himself that no mortal can keep a secret. His lips are silent, he chatters with his fingertips. Betrayal oozes out of him at every pore. The conscious mind may be compared to a fountain playing in the sun and falling back into the great subterranean pool of the subconscious from which it rises. The act of birth is the first experience of anxiety, and thus the source and prototype of the affect of anxiety. Men are strong so long as they represent a strong idea. They become powerless when they oppose it. Religion is an illusion, and it derives its strength from the fact that it falls in with our instinctual desires. What a distressing contrast there is between the radiant intelligence of the child and the feeble mentality of the average adult. The mind is like an iceberg. It floats with 1/7 of its bulk above water. The first human who hurled an insult instead of a stone was the founder of civilization. The doctor should be opaque to his patients and, like a mirror, should show them nothing but what is shown to him. Whoever loves becomes humble. Those who love have, so to speak, pawned a part of their narcissism. Every normal person, in fact, is only normal on the average. His ego approximates to that of the psychotic in some part or other and to a greater or lesser extent. Children are completely egoistic. They feel their needs intensely and strive ruthlessly to satisfy them. America is the most grandiose experiment the world has seen, but, I am afraid, it is not going to be a success. The psychoanalysis of neurotics has taught us to recognize the intimate connection between wetting the bed and the character trait of ambition. A civilization which leaves so large a number of its participants unsatisfied and drives them into revolt neither has nor deserves the prospect of a lasting existence. If a man has been his mother's undisputed darling, he retains throughout life the triumphant feeling, the confidence in success, which not seldom brings actual success along with it. A man should not strive to eliminate his complexes, but to get into accord with them. They are legitimately what directs his conduct in the world. Civilized society is perpetually menaced with disintegration through this primary hostility of men towards one another. What we call happiness in the strictest sense comes from the preferably sudden satisfaction of needs which have been amped up to a high degree. Neurotics complain of their illness, but they make the most of it. And when it comes to talking it away from them, they will defend it like a lioness her young. A man who has been the indisputable favorite of his mother keeps for life the feeling of a conqueror. Civilized society is perpetually menaced with disintegration through this primary hostility of men towards one another. We believe that civilization has been created under the pressure of the exigencies of life at the cost of satisfaction, instincts. A certain degree of neurosis is of inestimable value as a drive, especially to a psychologist. Analogies, it is true, decide nothing, but they can make one feel more at home. The interpretation of dreams is the royal road to knowledge of the unconscious activities of the mind. Opposition is not necessarily enmity. It is merely misused and made an occasion for enmity. What progress we are making. In the Middle Ages, they would have burned me. Now they are content with burning my books. The tendency to aggression is an innate, independent, instinctual disposition in man. It constitutes a powerful obstacle to culture. Like the physical, the psychical is not necessarily in reality what it appears to us to be. We have long observed that every neurosis has the result, and therefore probably the purpose, of forcing the patient out of real life, of alienating him from actuality. The liberty of the individual is no gift of civilization. It was the greatest before there was any civilization. Analysis does not set out to make pathological reactions impossible, but to give the patient's ego freedom to decide one way or another. A belligerent state permits itself every such misdeed, every such act of violence, as would disgrace the individual. Incidentally, why was it that none of all the pious ever discovered psychoanalysis? Why did it have to wait for a completely godless Jew?
Thanks for watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe for more videos.